Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, February the 16th. The year is 2024. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And since we're about a little over halfway through the trading month, I want you to remember risk management. Never lose, then you're more than willing to lose on any one single trade. So let's take a week. Let's take a look at the week right here. Right now on the pound, we're 14 pips below the weekly open, 83 off the high, 69 off the low. And as you can see from the dashboard here, all of the opening gaps have filled. I think at the midweek, it was one of these. I think it was the New Zealand yen hadn't filled, so anybody who played that trade would have been rewarded. Now, very interesting here. You can see we are right at the low of the, actually 1 pip below the low of the weekly opening range. You can see we busted through it today, almost to the low of the opening range for the month here, and then we retraced off of that. So once again, these horizontal lines, you know, once they're placed, they stay put. And you can see we crisscrossed that weekly open, and I mentioned before, once again, a nice trade to be had. So if you followed in the day's direction, you may have picked up about 4 or 5 pips to the north side. And if you happen to short it, there were some pips to be had. Right now, you'd be up about 13. And if we if we zoom out to the month on this chart, you can see here we're pretty much at that previous month's low, entering that lower wick zone. And once again, off for the year, we're 116 pips off that yearly open, 87 above the low, 181, 180 off the high. And the inside bars, once again, we had an inside bar yesterday. Taking that breakout to the north would have paid off. Also, we broke into the inside bar from 8 weeks ago, and then we came back out. That would have proved profitable. Also, we opened just above the inside bar low for the month. You can see we dropped down a bunch of pips there, and that would have been profitable. And notice we looks like, well, according to this 25.50, we bounced off that psychological 50. Today, only 2 pairs over 100. The pound clocking in at 74. And you can see the ranges, these daily ranges have been muted. They really have been. Buy zone proving profitable once again. You can see it's taking it in the direction of the candle color. And once again, you know, you can take it for a couple of pips, or you can try and hold for longer. You can see here at the weekly open what happened. We broke across it, and then we came down below it. Once again, simple trades that can be very profitable. And the thing is, you get these opportunities almost every day. It's not like you don't get these opportunities especially during the London, New York session crossover. Red rats feasting. You can see here, looking here at the M15 chart, this is one of the things I've been looking and trading recently. You can see this close was below the previous high. To me, that's indicating weakness. You can see here it broke out, came back down through it. So right here was a short opportunity, even though it was going against the color of the M15. But you can take your chances. I mean, you could take that trade and you could put your stop loss just a pip or two behind, you know, above that previous high, and you know, maybe you get stopped out And then, of course, you could always re-enter, but you can see here just how profitable that can be. And remember, these are just, trading is guessing, because we don't know. If we knew, the market would cease to exist. And that's why we have stop losses. R1, the bias was short. Bambino flex indicator indicated a long. Near the pivot indicated a long. And you can see here, as price came down and moved up. And then here, once again, pivot, S1 bias long. You can see here that worked out a couple of times. So, daily pivot taken out, weekly pivot taken out, monthly pivot taken out. These pivot trades, are target trades. You can see here this H4 pivot. This one got taken out today. This one hasn't been taken out, so maybe in the next couple of trading days that pivot will be taken out. And you can always scrunch the chart to see where these other missed pivots are. So we've got 2 so far this year. We've got a bunch from last year. So we'll just have to see how long it takes for those to get taken out. And well, I'm going to mention something once again about, since we're talking about stops and targets, you have to realize that when price here on the pound, when it goes from 126 to 127 in the real world, that's only a penny. We see it as 100 pips, and we're using leverage, and that could put a lot of money in our pockets. But the reality is it's only a penny. So sometimes you might see some traders, these swing traders, where they might have 100 or 200 pip stop loss. But, our accounts, you'd have to be trading maybe, you might be lucky to be able to trade a mini lot with that type of stop loss. But if you size it properly and you give it that room when it goes against you, you can see how if you can wait out maybe a day or two when something goes against you, you can get your money back and then some. So it's just something to keep in mind, all about trade management, position management, money management. Just something to consider. Do I advocate that? No, not really. But it's just something, that you can use in your arsenal. Like the wick zone, once again, 70% or better, it's not going to stay in the wick zone. And here, in and out to the top side, in and out to the bottom side, in and out to the top side, barely broke the bottom, then left the top, and here again. So, and this wick zone here is only just a little over, 2 pips? I mean, it's not much of a zone, but you can still trade it just like any other horizontal line. Okay, the range for the week, only 152 pips. We're sitting at the 50 percentile. And you can see here how these weekly ranges haven't been that much. And the daily, as I said, have been muted. 3 trading days ago, we had 115 pip range. But before that was only 48. And, we're at the 76 is at the 50 percentile over the last 12 days. But it's just been very, very, very muted. I mean, let me see. I'm not sure which. Is this the daily or is this the weekly? Show period. This is the weekly. I don't remember which one of these. That's previous high, low. Show high, open, current. I was thinking, I'll just do it on a different chart. We'll switch over to the daily. I just wanted to look at these ranges here. And you can see here over the last 100 days, start to look at the percentiles using 100. You can see here 38%, 15, 32. Muted trading ranges. I mean, look at this, 11 days. And we've only had 1, 2, 3, 4 over 100. So, obviously the pound has been compressed. The It's just not moving like it used to. And looking at the higher low, lower high trades, you can see here this lowest high has been moving down. When it was there was a nice trade. Once again, made a higher high but closed below the previous high. To me, that's a signal of weakness, and get your shorts on. Now looking at H4 here, once again using that reverse. You can see here it's making a new high, it's reversing, so look for the short. And here it made a lower low, came back, didn't make a lower low, crossed that close or the open, and H4 likes to move. And ATR percent still at 60. Looking at the range here, range by month, 254 pips. And so you can see, looks like we've got more room to go. And close minus open year-to-date percent. You can see 0.93% from the year-to-date open. Oh, I wanted to, let's see, where was it? Oh, looking at the smart ranges just to go through. We broke out at a previous high by 45. We didn't break out at a previous low. High minus close, 84 at the moment for red rats. 68 off the low for the green rats. High minus open 69 for the weekly crossover traders. And open minus low 83. So once again, it's horizontal line trades paying off. And looking at the trade reminder for the month. Sellers are strong control. We're inside that lower wick zone now. Price is turning down. Previous monthly bar was an inside bar. Go to the weekly. We're inside that lower wick zone. Higher high, higher low. But we've got a sucker bar forming here. Higher high, higher low, but a red candle means to look to go short or to stand aside. And looking at the daily, previous bar was an inside bar. Price is inside the upper wick zone. Price was turning up. We exceeded the previous range on the daily. But once again, look at these bars. Very, very, very muted compared to these 2 or 3. Very muted. So, fellow traders, I hope you're having a profitable month, week, day, and year so far. And yesterday I didn't put out a video. I've been taking up another one of my hobbies. Some of you may know I play bass and guitar. So what happens is Wednesday nights I go out to the open mic, and sometimes I do solo, sometimes I play with other players. So I'm usually up late, and then I have to get up early, 1, to trade sometimes, and 2, I also have to leave out because I volunteer at a food bank. So I'm just getting the time crunch, and sometimes I'm just, it's like too tired. It's like I don't feel like trading, and so that's why I've probably missed a few videos. So that, just to let you know, nothing's bad happening if you don't see a video, but sometimes things other than trading just take precedence and priority. So I hope that's true with you, that sometimes, you know, some things in life are just a little bit more important than trading, so you just might not trade a session or 2. Because the market will be there when you come back, that's for sure. So just don't sweat it. So, fellow traders, thanks again for watching. And hey, if you know a trader that hasn't subscribed, not watching my video, maybe you can give them a shout out. I'm seeing some of these other places, you know, they get a lot more views, and I'm just wondering, maybe I need to do a little more promotion, even though I'm not really into all that promotion. So anyway, remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is TheRumpledOne.